Welcome in, one and all, to another fictional fracas on Grudge Match, the show that plucks the inhabitants of the DC and Marvel universes from their home dimensions and throws them into neutral territory to allow for knockdown, drag-out, one-on-one fights to determine who is the dominant fighter. Today's episode is one of the most requested and highly anticipated matchups in all of comicdom, pitting two of the smartest, richest, and best fighters ever against one another. It's DC's master of martial arts, the scion of Gotham City, Batman, versus Marvel's African king and defender of Wakanda, the Black Panther. Diving right in and looking at Batman first, Bruce Wayne, created in 1939 by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, has been grooming himself for a life of crime fighting and superheroing ever since his parents were killed in front of him as a young child. As the inheritor of the Wayne fortune and the head of Wayne Enterprises, Bruce Wayne has had a vast amount of resources at his disposal to allow for all of his training and development of his skills. He has managed to spend years traveling all around the world training with the best of a variety of different fields, both physical and mental skills. He's trained under some of the most accomplished and best fighters in the world, which has allowed him to expand his knowledge of fighting styles and martial arts to an almost unprecedented degree, stating multiple times in the comics that he has mastered 127 different styles of martial arts. That's a very, very high number of styles to have completely mastered, as well as having familiarity with even all of those styles that he has not completely mastered. In addition to his martial prowess, he's also a polymath genius who has advanced knowledge of engineering, of criminology, of psychology, a variety of different sciences, just a wide assortment of knowledge at his disposal. Add to that his almost unlimited resources, which allows him to create all kinds of weaponry and gadgetry, and not just in terms of the gadgets he has in his famed utility belt or the Batplane or Batmobile that he drives around. He's also blended his technology right into his suit to allow him more options in combat. The Batsuit is a Kevlar titanium microwave that absorbs a lot of impacts. It's bulletproof. It has a glide cape affixed to it, so the cape is not just a style choice, it also allows him to glide, reverse directions in midair, land on his feet from really high heights without being harmed. Of course, the famed Batman utility belt carries a variety of different tools and weaponry, from batarangs to smoke pellets, small explosives, the grappling hook that he can use in a variety of ways, not just for personal travel from one place to another, but also as an offensive weapon as well. A master of stealth, a master of tactics, a master of practically every kind of fighting style and weapon system ever devised, Batman has long been the premier hand-to-hand fighter and non-powered superhero of the DC universe. Black Panther of Marvel Comics, first created in 1966 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. His real name is T'Challa. He is the king of the African nation of Wakanda, the fictional African nation that exists only in the Marvel Universe. Wakanda is famed as being the most technologically advanced civilization on the planet Earth. And their technology comes by way of Wakanda being the only place on Earth where the fictional metal vibranium can be found. Vibranium is most famed for being the primary metal that makes up the shield that Captain America carries around. And this can only come from Wakanda. And because of that, it's an incredibly rare and incredibly valuable resource, has made Wakanda the richest nation on the planet, and has also, they've used the vibranium to increase their technology, they've put it into their engineering and their sciences, and it's made them the most technologically advanced civilization on the planet as well. And T'Challa is the king of Wakanda, and as such, he has the vast resources of Wakanda, the richest nation in the world, at his disposal. This has allowed him to be groomed from a very young age to be the height of perfection for a human in terms of mentally and physically. He's traveled the entire world training under a variety of fighting masters. He's learned almost every conceivable fighting style on the planet, if not mastered it, a familiarity with them all. Also a polymath genius who has advanced degrees in a variety of sciences and engineering, much the same way Batman does. T'Challa is even famed as being one of the 8 smartest characters in the entire Marvel Universe, putting him right on the same plane as characters like Reed Richards, Dr. Doom, Hank Pym, Tony Stark, all of those really, really super intelligent superhero characters. Now, as the King of Wakanda, Black Panther is a generational title passed down from king to king. Every king of Wakanda takes on the mantle of the Black Panther, and as such, they are allowed to ingest these special heart-shaped herbs that grow only in Wakanda that increases the strength, agility, and senses of the Black Panther. So it does afford T'Challa with a measure of superhuman skills. He is slightly superhuman in all of his physical traits, his senses, his strength, speed, agility, reflexes. But he did give up the mantle of King of Wakanda, and so he no longer ingests that heart-shaped herb that gives him those powers. However, in recent comics, he was granted a new title as the King of the Dead by the Panther Goddess, and the Panther Goddess increased all of his physical skills back to this slightly superhuman level. In keeping with the technological advancement of Wakanda, Black Panther has also blended vibranium and the advanced technology of his kingdom into his weaponry and his suit. The Panther suit is a vibranium microweave, and since vibranium's primary property is that it absorbs kinetic energy and impacts, it makes his suit completely bulletproof, immune to stabbing, and he has been able to take hits from characters like the Hulk without getting injured by it, because it completely absorbs the kinetic energy of impacts. The Panther suit also has anti-metal claws built into the fingertips, a special kind of vibranium that completely breaks down any other metal on a molecular level. This means that the claws that Black Panther has can rend through the toughest titanium, through the hardest metal, as if it was a hot knife through butter. Black Panther also carries energy daggers that he can use as either stabbing weapons or as thrown weapons, as well as a variety of technology built into the mask and the cowl, like infrared, night vision, and a rebreather to allow for passage underwater or through smoke, all built right into the Black Panther suit. So a lot of similarities between these two characters in their advanced technology, their almost unlimited resources, their super intelligence, and their knowledge of martial arts skills. But who would prove superior if they were to ever collide one-on-one? The winner will be the Black Panther. T'Challa is going to take home the win of this grudge match. When comparing these two characters, the similarities are striking, and it's very difficult to say who is going to come out ahead when it comes to things like genius-level intellect, or mastery over martial arts, or even the resources and riches and business acumen that they both have to their character. But there are a couple of ways in which Black Panther comes out ahead. First and most obvious is the fact that, yes, Black Panther does have a degree of superhuman powers. He can lift up to 2 tons, he can move slightly faster than the fastest human, his senses are more acute than the most acute human senses, he's more agile than the most agile human, his durability is greater, his healing is greater, all of that to a slightly superhuman degree. So even if Batman is close to him in any of these areas, Black Panther is going to be just a little bit better. So that obviously gives Black Panther an edge in terms of physical skills. But then also when it comes to technology, Black Panther comes out ahead in that regard as well. The vibranium that Black Panther uses throughout his suit is going to prove superior protection to the Kevlar titanium microwave of the Batsuit. Vibranium being a fictional metal that has unique properties, the ability to absorb kinetic impact, make it a superior protection. Also, the energy daggers that Black Panther can use and throw probably superior to a batarang as a thrown or stabbing implement as well, just by virtue of the fact that it's hard light, it's energy, it's a type of technology that doesn't actually exist versus the batarang typical metal creation. Now, none of these things are extreme advantages for the Black Panther, but in a grudge match that is going to be very, very close, where these characters are incredibly equally matched in terms of intelligence and fighting skills, any advantage whatsoever could put one or the other over the top. And those couple of advantages of the superhuman skills, the better Wakandan technology, the vibranium armor, those things are just going to push Black Panther a little bit over the top and give him the win of this grudge match. So message me down below, let me know what you think of the outcome of this fight, and as always, any suggestions for future grudge matches. We'll see you next time on the next edition of Grudge Match.